Wij keren terug naar Ricky met de equipment.
I think the photo equipment would have to be set up in Ricky's salon.
Oké.
These prints in the floor. I bet this is where Ricky's super expensive camera equipment used to be. I better put them back in their place.
Hoppakee.
Good. I'm pretty sure that the camera is positioned correctly.
Dan zetten we die nepkat daar op.
While it's not nice to scam your way into first place on Ricky's Finest this way, I think the plush Mr. Fumbleclaw is a worthy stunt double for the original.
Kijk.
Perfect. Unless you count each whisker individually, no one will notice that this is not the real Mr. Fumbleclaw. Well then, smile! Ricky's camera's really a fine piece of engineering. This photo is first class. And unless you know better, no one realises that this is not Mr. Fumbleclaw.
Nou, dan brengen we die foto maar naar de jonge dame. Om te laten zien dat hij gewonnen heeft.
I don't want to bother Lady Longbottom with it.
Hoezo niet?
You are these.
Hey.
Thank
Eerst nog met Ricky overleggen natuurlijk.
Hey Ricky! Oh, because I have great news!
Is that so? Yes, sorry. I had a major customer of my cat hair knit hats bail on me this morning. But you are right. I shouldn't project my anger onto my customers. You said something about great news?
I found your super expensive photo equipment again!
Really?
Really?
How did you manage to do that?
I think it's better you don't know the details. Just be happy.
That's bad.
As I said, better you don't ask.
Fine. Then I guess I owe you a debt of gratitude.
Now that you bring it up, do you remember our conversation? A certificate proving that Mr. Fumbleclaw, you know, the missing cat, was miraculously on top of the winner's podium in absentia?
I vaguely remember something like that, yes.
Can I get the certificate now, please?
And you guarantee me to keep quiet about this process? Otherwise, my integrity as the organizer of the competition will be worth nothing.
Promised. Of course.
Okay, after all, I don't want anyone to say I'm not a man of my word. Anyway, I want to have as little as possible to do with the details of this integrity killer. So I think it would be good if you bring me the winning photo. And then I will create the certificate for you.
I have a photo of Mr. Fumbleclaw here. Will that do?
Well, hello there. That looks very usable already.
Yeah, your photo equipment is really high quality. Ideally suited for great cat photos.
As a professional and organizer of a countrywide, if not worldwide, legendary beauty contest, I have to meet a certain standard. And that includes high-quality winning photos and certificates.
Speaking of which, we had a deal. I'll get your photo equipment back, and you put my cat on the winner's podium, winner's certificate included.
Of course. And I am true to my word. Then I can finally bring this year's competition to a close, and no longer have to bother with this year's attempts to bribe the participants.
Great. How long will it take?
Not long, just wait a moment.
Kom maar op met de certificate. Hoppa.
Wow! This looks great!
You're welcome. Even though your fraudulent intention regarding the certificate is not entirely clear to me, I hope it will serve its purpose.
It will. I'm quite sure of that. And rest assured, you did it for a really good cause.
Whatever. The main thing is that you keep your mouth shut.
Komt goed.
Otherwise, there goes my reputation as king of cat beauty pageants.
You have my word. Well, I'd better get going then too, and bring my deceitful intentions to their triumphant end.
Do that.
See you sometime.
Farewell. And do something with your hair. It looks really awful.
Dan brengen we het certificaat naar de mevrouw.
I have been busy and have great news.
So? But apparently you have once again forgotten the not ordered pizza.
Pizza? I'm not a pizza boy. I am the bearer of great news regarding Mr. Fumbleclaw.
You mean Lord Fumbleclaw?
Whatever you want to call him. He did it again.
Did it? Did what? Have you finally found him?
Indeed I have.
Oh? Where was he?
Well, the story is quite long. Do you have time?
Actually, no. You better finally tell me the great news.
All right. After a curious turn of incidents, which I don't want to go into now due to lack of time, Lord Fumbleclaw actually sits on the throne of the beauty contest, Ricky's Finest, again this year.
Hey!
Really? The wretched Lady Buford will sink to the ground in shame. Her mangy cat once again had no chance against my champions. This is absolutely great.
Indeed it is.
I hope you also have the certificate which proves the great victory.
Zeker.
I cannot and will not rely on the word of a pizza boy.
Of course, I also have the certificate.
Absolutely perfect.
So, Lord Fumbleclaw can retire now?
In fact, I no longer have any use for the cat. It has now claimed its 5th win in a row, and at this age the fur begins to become shaggy. That's why I prefer to focus on the upcoming champion, Duke Bukehairtuft.
Duke Bukehairtuft.
Yes. He will make sure that Lady Buford will be humiliated in the coming year as well. A beautiful young cat, at the beginning of a promising career.
Poor kitty. Be that as it may. I will then visit the animal shelter and make sure that Lord Fumbleclaw is professionally mediated.
Do this. As a pizza boy and an employee of the animal shelter, you are well occupied. But as a member of the lower class, you probably need every cent of your earnings. Probably for drugs or other illegal stuff. Goodbye. And next time, don't forget the pizza.
Ja, dan gaan we maar naar de dierenarts om hem het goede nieuws te brengen.
Hi, Scott. Do you have any news regarding this contest Frodo has to win?
Ready for some terrific news?
Terrific news? Can I assume that's what I think it's about?
Well, as an official employee of the City Animal Shelter, after a thorough review of the facts, I have the honour to inform you that Frodo the Cat, also known as Mr. Fumbleclaw, will be released into your care, so that both said cat and its owner may have a happy future. Furthermore, in my official capacity, I must inform you that the animal shelter staff must be allowed access to the cat at all times, with a minimum 30-minute right to extensive cuddling and petting.
So you actually made it?
Zeker.
I did.
I really get to keep Frodo?
You may. And I wouldn't know a better home for the white kitty.
And Lady Longbottom was really okay with that.
The lady who's not particularly fond of animals has in fact quite officially sent Frodo off to the animal shelter and entrusted me with the placement of the cat. So everything is legal.
I don't even know what to say. You made a man, his dog and cat very happy today.
Zo zijn wij, hè. Zo zijn wij.
Nonsense. You're making me blush. I was happy to do that. Even if it was not an easy task, to admit. I had a lot of moon logic puzzles to solve. But in the end, not least thanks to my years of experience as a player of point-and-click adventure games, I was able to overcome these hurdles.
Point-and-click adventures? I think I once watched my nephew play one. Don't you think our story here would make a great story for an adventure game?
Funny you should mention that. In fact, the thought has crossed my mind before. Unfortunately, I don't know how to code at all.
Aren't you a computer science major?
Long-term computer science student. There's a reason for the long term. But I know a sympathetic head in a jar who can. I'm sure he'll be happy to help me once he gets his body back. The game is guaranteed to be a total hit.
It most certainly will. Wouldn't you like to get to know Frodo?
Lijkt me goed.
You mean face to face?
Of course.
Sure. Absolutely. Do I have permission to enter your house?
Today and whenever you want. After all, I have received from the animal shelter the official requirement to grant you unhindered access to the cat at any time.
You have, indeed.
And besides, I'll catch up with you in a minute.
Great! Finally, I get to know Frodo, the star of a future point-and-click adventure game. Scott Whiskers in The Search for Frodo. That sounds great. So I'll see you at your house in a bit.
Yep. I'll brush Buddy once or twice more, and then I'll catch up. Oh, Buddy, he will be overjoyed that his new buddy doesn't have to move out again.
Nou, daar gaan we. De kat ontmoeten.
Are you as excited as I am?
Zeker.
Finally, we get to meet Frodo. After all the hardships, after all the almost unsolvable tasks,
Niets is
after
unsolvable
all
for
the
Toomey.
strange characters we've met and survived. Finally. But despite this joy, I'm also a little sad. It also means that our adventure together is now slowly coming to an end. But honestly, I don't regret a second. I've rescued a cat, I've brought lovers together, I got to meet a great movie star, and I got to taste the world's best sensational vegan cheese pizza. What more could I ask for? You really can't expect much more from a point-and-click adventure game, can you? Okay, be that as it may, enough yakking. It's time to meet the legend on four paws in person. I actually just wanted to express that I enjoyed the time with your company very much. And I hope very much that we'll meet again one day.
Nou, daar zit hij hoor. Examine cat condo.
This is the scratching post on which I first saw Frodo. A cat dog fox sniffs a flower.
Cat dog fox.
I think the fireplace is just decoration.
Denk het ja.
At least, I didn't see a chimney outside. How are you? You white fluff ball? Do you have any idea what kind of adventures you've gotten me into? No, of course not. You made a nice little life for yourself here while I had to master almost unsolvable tasks. But don't get me wrong, finding you here safe and well fed was really worth every effort. The whole thing could have ended far worse. The time in the box with the flea combs must have been hell. Your species' penchant for cardboard boxes almost did you a disservice. It's a good thing you ended up with Dr. Stringer. Nothing better could have happened to you. But I imagine you still living with Lady Longbottom, gives me creeps. I think you really have it good here. And I hear you've already found a new four-legged friend. But please, promise me you'll keep an eye on him. And at a distance from your litter box. I think Buddy has a little cat litter problem. Crazy Buddy. So, and I can promise you that we'll see each other even more often. Most certainly. Your great fur just screams for me to bury my hands in it. And speaking of which, would you mind if we cuddle a bit now? I couldn't imagine a nicer ending to a point-and-click adventure than to pet a cat at the very end. That's how every game should end. Do you think? I'm glad we can agree on this. So, come here, you white fluffy kitty. Aww, a happy ending. How nice. But did you doubt it for a second? I don't. And yet, I certainly couldn't have done it without you. And probably would have already been eaten by Lord Longbottom's thirsty chihuahua. With your analytical skills in solving difficult tasks, and my good looks, the story could only end well. The story of a young man who went out to find a cat, defied every adversity along the way, to finally embrace the sought-after kitty safe and sound. A young man who made a few new friends on his journey, evil monsters defied, and even survived an encounter with Susie Longbottom. A young man with a bright future as a pizza boy. Lovers were brought together. An almost forgotten movie star brought back to life. A hamster rescued. Marvelled at a talking head in a jar.
Oh, inderdaad.
And performed other heroic deeds. Seriously. This was a victory all along the line. Drat, Frodo's fur is wonderfully soft. Where was I? Ah, yes. I thank you very much that I had the opportunity to meet you. And it would be great if you tell your friends about me. And who knows? Maybe we'll see each other again soon. So don't go too far away. Unless you need to pet your cat, dog or hamster right now. With this in mind, take care. And as I say goodbye with Spock's words, live long and prosper.
The end. The end. We zijn aan het einde gekomen, dames en heren. Van Scott Whiskers in The Search for Mr. Fumbleclaw. Het zit erop. Ja, dat betekent dat we daarmee kijken naar hier de strijders die deze game hebben gemaakt. Vooral Duitse vrienden. Dat komt allemaal wel goed. Kijk eens aan, kijk eens aan. De beta-testers. Dat waren die gasten in het criminele ding in het politiebureau. Search for the Golden Cat. Oeh, er komt nog een sequel aan. Nou, kijk aan. Die kunnen we vast in de zak steken. En zo komen we weer in het hoofdmenu. Dat betekent, dames en heren, dat wij hier gaan afronden. En dat we jullie gaan bedanken voor het kijken naar Scott Whiskers in The Search for Mr. Fumbleclaw. En dat wij jullie weer gaan zien in een volgend avontuur. Dus ik zou zeggen, bedankt weer voor het kijken. Een hele fijne dag en graag tot de volgende. Joejoe!